I think the Worldwide Views process of consulting 100 citizens in 39 different countries was very unique, and we all learned from having participated in a process like that. We've done consultations in the past, but they were mainly local, domestic issues. So the opportunity to talk about a global issue, in this case, something really important, climate change, was wonderful for citizens to engage with each other, as well as with policymakers in their own countries and internationally. The method, I think is going to be very helpful for Canadians to participate in an issue that concerns global citizens. So we have been able to do consultations in Canada on Canadian issues, but in this process and through this process, I think our citizens were able to think about an issue beyond our borders and to think about how global climate change is going to be something that we need to think about, and we need to think about solutions in common with citizens from other countries. I think the process has been very useful in general for accommodating countries from different cultures and perspectives. But one thing that I would like to see embedded in the process next time is an opportunity for different countries to think about their local contexts and bring that into the deliberative process. One of the things we were able to do in Canada, for example, was we added an hour and a half of discussing Canadian issues at the very end of the international process. And our participants found that really useful, just in terms of thinking about, how does climate change actually impact the Canadian context. We've just been talking about biodiversity, and I can't think of a much better issue to think about how that issue might be incorporated into a Worldwide Views type of process. Biodiversity is getting a lot of international attention, and just like climate change, it's a very current issue. In fact, 2010 is the year of biodiversity. So that will start a lot of people thinking about what that issue means both locally and globally. So that will be, I think, an issue that's ripe for another Worldwide Views process. Well, we are a very large country, but we have a small population in comparison to, let's say, the United States as an example, our neighbor to the south. And we are also a very diverse country. We have diverse regions. We also have an Aboriginal population that is affected quite dramatically by climate change. These are communities that are in the north, and the Arctic landscape, for example, has been changing dramatically. So it was important for us to include Aboriginal participants. Now, if we had just relied on the usual random sample, which is actually the process that we used, then we would not have had Aboriginal participation because their numbers are very small. So we allocated 10 spaces in the 100 group of citizens so that we could invite Aboriginal participants to be part of the process. And they actually flew in from the north, from the different regions in the north, and contributed greatly to what we did in Calgary.